The third data gathering techniques that we'll be discussing is observations. There are two types of observations, direct and indirect observations. For direct observation, there are further two types of direct observation, which is direct observations in the field and direct observation in controlled environment. For direct observation in the field, people are observed as they do their tasks in their natural settings in real-life situations. For direct observation in controlled environment, usually conducted in laboratory settings, usually because they want to control the environmental factors or technical factors and to observe the effect of dependent variable. For example, how fast users can download, how fast users can upload or complete a task. So usually, sometimes this depends on the speed of internet connection. So that's why such situation, the evaluation has to be conducted in control settings to make sure that the internet connection is not an issue during the testing or evaluation. So if you want to evaluate your app, we have two methods of direct observations here. So which of these methods of direct observation that you will choose? Okay, so which one will you choose for your app to evaluate is highly depends on the purpose of your app itself. If you are designing a navigational app, for example, obviously you have to conduct the evaluation in the field or in real life settings, especially for blind users. Here you really have to conduct it in naturalistic real life situation where you can observe whether your app is working or not. Control environment is more appropriate for evaluation where task performance is very critical, that you have to control the environmental factors, and also for the app that you know people will most likely use it when they were sitting in a room, such as doing online banking, online shopping, accessing e-learning. For example, like iTalim, you rarely access those kind of websites while you are on the move, right? So you can use this form of direct observation in control environment to evaluate those kind of apps or websites. During the observation, one of the techniques that you can use to get feedback from the user as they interact with the app or website or product is think aloud technique. So what do you think aloud technique is? Just like the name implies, think aloud is a technique that as the user interact or completing the task on the app or websites, they have to voice out loud what they thoughts in their minds. Okay, what they thoughts in their mind, they have to voice out loud as they are doing their tasks. They have to say what they think is happening, what they are trying to do, why they took that action. For example, let's say if you give them tasks to log in into Facebook, so the user using think aloud technique, they will have saying it out loud. For example, okay, I was assigned to log in into Facebook, so now what I will do is that I will fill out my username and then my password here, and then I click login button. So the users have to voice out that loud. They have to voice out their actions about what they are doing. And this think aloud technique is especially useful when users encounter errors or they confused on what to do, because they will be like, oh, I mistakenly clicked the wrong button. How should I go back? Where should I go back from here? Where should I navigate? Is this the back button? So in that particular time, it will be very useful kind of information that you get. That you can understand what kind of problems that users are experiencing, and you can understand how the users try to get out from that problems and how they try to recover from the errors by themselves. To have more clear views on what Think Aloud is and how it had been conducted, here I provide a link to YouTube videos on the Think Aloud sessions in industry, so please watch that.